proximity of what I hope to be. The weight so heavy where I stand. The indecision builds within my twisted sense of self, and all I know is leading on, letting down, forgetting. Run away from me, run away from me. I'm not the one you think I am. Stay away from me, stay away.
So Dennis, you just got back from celebrations in Los Angeles on this occasion of the 17th anniversary of Prop 215. What was that like?
Oh, it was great. We gave away pot, and it's good to be 17 again. Well, it's good to be 17 out of jail. It's good that it passed all the mustard all these years, under attack from everybody, but it's still law of the land, and it really did spark change in the society, and for that I'm happy.
Well, we're all happy about the leadership and guidance that you gave all of us in bringing 215 into fruition. But I recall that when I called you and told you that I had raised the $500,000 to put it on the ballot, you were not happy. You had pretty much given up on 215. You were writing a speech, a concession
Well,
speech or something.
Well, I think every initiative goes through that. I'm going to make it, not going to make it. And there was a point where look like we weren't going to make it. Just looked. It didn't look good, but it turned out it was good. Well, you helped out. You helped on that. We raised the money, and you had Sugar Daddy George Zimmerman. He was a great guy, and that's what we needed him. George Soros gave us money, but he wouldn't give it unless we had local people that also would give it money. And so George Zimmerman inspired George Soros to give us more money. And he actually inspired, who else gave us money? Rockefeller. One of the evil Rockefellers gave us $100,000. Can you believe that? But anyway.
I recall seeing that check come in. That was after we had gotten all that publicity from Doonesbury.
Yeah, nasty Doonesbury.
Actually,
he told the story.
It was $50,000, and the reason that we got that check, I heard directly from Ram Dass. Ram Dass told me that he told Rockefeller, "You need to give these guys some money," and Rockefeller wrote us a check for $50,000.
Well, I never thanked Ram Dass for that. I have seen him since, but he's had this stroke and in a lot of trouble. But he is a great man, and I didn't know he had a hand in that. But you did, and Ram Dass and me, and Neil Young gave us $10,000. He did it because his son is an autistic son that needs extra. So he gave us some because he knew it was to help people, and it was good. Everyone felt good about it.
Now, Dennis, before 215 passed, the police, the prosecutors, the sheriff's association, everybody said this would be legalization. There'd be no controls. People could grow as much as they want. And then after it passed, Dan Lundgren, who had said in the title and summary, which is the official description and interpretation of the initiative, he said in that title and summary, exempts patients. First word, exempts.
I know. Then they started singing another tune after we won. But it didn't matter. The people had spoken.
After we won, he said, well, anything more than 2 plants is too much for personal use because each plant automatically produces a pound, right?
Yeah, right. They even said 2 pounds. But anyway, yeah. But that was bullshit. But he knew it was bullshit. He changed his tune in the middle of the screw. But he still got screwed because his side lost. I like to rub it in as much as I can. His side totally lost. People slapped him in the face and said, no, well, we're going to vote for this marijuana thing. We don't care what legalizes it. We regulate it. Sick people need it. They don't need a bunch of red tape. So I was right in that department that people don't want a lot of red tape from the government. They want to consult with their doctor. The doctor recommends it. That's it. They can get it. So, yeah, they fought it. They took it up to the Supreme Court, but we won. We won there too. So I feel really sure that it's going to be the law of the land forever. There are forces trying to turn back the clock, but it's hard not to turn the clock ahead in America. It's double hard to turn it back.
Now,
And so,
I recall that night as you and I and Jack Harrer and others were celebrating, um, the co-author of 215
yes,
chided
what a
us.
night. What a great night, right?
But do you
I
remember
remember,
her? I remember I was shocked because she said to you and to me, it's going to take 10 years before 215 before this initiative is accepted. Do you remember that?
well, yeah, who said Anna? Was that Anna? Who said that?
Yes,
I
Anna.
can't remember. Yeah,
Anna
yeah. Well,
Boyce.
in a way, she was right, but because we did what we did, it took 10 years.
Now,
If we hadn't done that in 20 years,
I recall that you said that night that it's our suffering that allows us to create change.
yes, we have suffered.
You
And
still carry you still carry bullet fragments in your leg from when you were shot by a police officer.
yeah, and in my heart, I still carry heaviness because he said later on, wish he had killed me. We had one less faggot in San Francisco. And I think back to Harvey Milk and think what they did to him and what they tried to do to me. They really tried to assassinate us to stop social change. And social change was going to happen, but if they had killed me in '76 or in 1980, I forget what year it was, but if they had killed me then, maybe it wouldn't happen. We don't know. But I lived. They only got me in the leg. I lived, and I kind of got even. And the narc that shot me is now in prison himself. He accepted bribes from taxi cab drivers. They have to be proficient in English. If you give him $50, you get proficiency. You get passed. And he turned. I of course complained. I made a complaint against him because he called me a faggot. It wasn't very nice. Saying that he should have killed me. It wasn't very nice of him. So I made a complaint against him, and he didn't get fired, but he did get demoted. He got demoted to the lowest job in the taxi bureau. For 20 years, he milked $50 bribes from every taxi cab driver, the foreigners, and just think if he had been a narc still, oh boy, it would be chaos. And it just takes one corrupt narc to the whole place, and the temptation is there. We show them millions of dollars, and then we say you get 100,000 a year. And it was too much to him. He wanted that money, and I stopped him from getting it.
My question for you about 215 is, did 215 need any further laws or definitions? I mean, it seemed to me that it covered it all, and yet
Yeah.
we have
Well,
been inflicted with all these other laws. You want to talk about that?
well, a lot of it comes from our own side. Believe it or not, a lot of our side thinks, well, we got to throw them a bone. We got to throw the establishment a bone, and we don't have to throw them a bone. We got the votes we want. There's a lot of backsliding to what is personal use. There was that bickering and the controversy about me saying, oh, this is medical. And even though it's true, it is totally true. And if you explore every use of marijuana, you'll find the analog of history, 3,000 years of history of marijuana use as medicine. And it's true that the first time you smoke marijuana, it's not medical because you don't even know about it. But if you smoke it a second time and third time, it means you got a lot of money together, get marijuana, and smoke it for your own personal. So that is a medical reason. They were smoking because they felt distressed somewhere along the line. They felt distressed, and people are not taking Prozac for fun. And but yeah, there's a lot of been attempts to backslide, but yeah, prior to 215 really did confound them, and really we changed it because we put the word medical in front of marijuana, and that changed the whole world.
I
And now,
remember, I remember that no one would use that term. Not even sleazy sex tabloids would use the term medical marijuana. We'd put it on all of our press releases. We used the term, and nobody would touch that term until we qualified for the ballot. I
yeah,
remember, I remember watching TV and telling everyone they're going to have to say it. They're going to have to say it, and they said it. They said it
yeah,
once. They said it again, and the next day the whole world was saying it. Medical
yeah.
marijuana.
Yeah, now today it seems commonplace. You know, of course it's medical marijuana. Of course you use it for medicine. Of course it makes you feel good. Sure, of course it increases your appetite. All the things that marijuana does has been a medical, and they classify it as medicine themselves with their scheduling, their erroneous scheduling. But they say it's not a drug of safety, but there's no safety issues. They're making it up. Stonewall, for some reason, they hate marijuana. And it goes back to Nixon. You could say it's the hippie revenge. He hates the hippies, and hippies like marijuana. Get the hippies. That's one way to get them. And but those people are dying out. Thank God Nixon's done, and his legacy is in shambles. And ours is just starting. We're 17 years young, and we're charting a course for the future. And we've got to stay strong, keep up 215 alive, and you know we don't need any more regulations. We don't need any fine tuning. As far as I'm concerned, it's a perfect law. It confounds them in all levels. And what I'm saying is true. All use is medical, and we know that to be true. And someday the Supreme Court will say it too, and therefore we legalize marijuana, and without the regulations, without the other side effects that some people want to lay on us.
Now, you were criticized heavily for making a comment that I agree with, that all use is medical, but somehow that was used against you. Could you talk about that?
Well, you know, they look for anything. They're looking for anything, but and they don't want to examine their own life, and they don't want to examine our lives. It's easy for them to just dismiss us and our pain. They go, oh, they're just saying they're feeling better. They just want to get high, and they sort of dismiss us and our pain even, and try to trivialize it and say, oh, let's just get high. They really don't feel like we're being honest, but we're the only ones that are honest on this thing. They've been dishonest for 40 years, lying to people, lying to us, and so throw it back into their court. Who's lying to who? Who's lying? Who? Are you're lying to us now? Did you lie to us before? Are you still lying to us? Like I remember 3 years ago, I wrote a letter to the state legislature saying that criticizing the budget for B&A, Bureau of Narcotics Enforcement, to the guys that busted our club, and complaining about their money. And you know what the budget was this year? From $150 million to zero. Zero. I love it. Those guys are living high up the hog on taxpayer money, running around cowboys in helicopters and busting our medicine. And we called them to it, and now there's no money for them. Too bad. I bet you they're looking for part-time jobs.
Dennis, after the passage of 215, Ed Rosenthal predicted that all of us would be targeted by the government because they couldn't defeat or smear medical marijuana. They had to smear us, the leadership.
Yes.
And he predicted that all of us would be felonized, that all of us would be charged and convicted. And of course, they went after you, they went after me, they went after Ed.
It is true, but we beat them. I mean, And during the jury trial, you know how it worked out. It was incredible the way it worked out. And they had a good judge. And me, they never had a case. They just throw something on the public like space and just say he does that. You know, they try to discredit our movement through people like us, like you growing a little marijuana. They try to discredit us, but we're righteous in what we do. We've always been righteous, and we don't go for that bullshit that they try to lay on us. They always use sex, whenever they can get it. And you know, being a gay man, I'm kind of vulnerable because you know, gay people, you know, it's scandalous, and now it's being more accepted. But you know, I remember growing up, I couldn't tell anybody I was gay. They would throw you in a mental institution, or they would throw you in jail. It was just illegal to be gay. And there's still a lot of stigmatism going on with gay. And so they thought they'd just pile it on me and it would just stick. But it can't stick because I'm gay. That's it. I'm gay, you know.
What do you think they thought when you were on the cover of People magazine, Dennis?
They weren't very happy. They get totally discouraged when Rockefeller gave me $50,000. They really discouraged them, which is good. And yeah, they hated me, you know, since the days of busting me and shooting me, and I calling them on and stuff. And then I got one of their cops. You know, they're narc friends. They're narc boys, and he took him down really. And now he's in prison. But they've hated me since a long time. And I really have no animosity to them. I just want to be at their job. I hate their job. I don't hate them personally. But they were zealous in their enforcement of the law and zealous in the pursuit of us. And I hope that they're going to give up. But, you know, our time is leaving. We've been around 60, 70 years, and we will die. And but they can't hurt us anymore. We won. They lost. They're still losers. We're not. No. That's it. A bunch of sore losers and a bunch of crybabies. But we carried out. We held to our principles, and to our credit, the law is still here, and less people are getting arrested, and marijuana, the prices have dropped nearly half, and it's more available, and it's better quality, and so I know it takes a long time to change in America. You know, we started a country, it's founded on freedom, we had slavery 200 years. We reconciled that. So we have to reconcile a lot of things living in America. So we know, if everyone can see the handwritings on the wall, it's going to be legalized someday, hopefully without regulations, or hopefully without interference from the government, and we can all be freer.
Now, you've been writing a book, The History of 215. How's that going?
Well, it's good. It's going good. You're in it. As a matter of fact, it's out now and selling. It's an e-book, so anybody can get it. Amazon Press is carrying it. It's selling quite well. I'm pleased with it. And it's got tidbits in it from my busts, you know, my many busts. It might as well be just the analog of Dennis Peron's bust, which is 23 times, you know, over a span of 40 years. Every time, spectacular, you know, shot, spark faggot, 200 pounds. You know, I love marijuana, but selling marijuana was only a means to the end. It was always a means to eliminate the job, to legalize this thing so people could be free. And so I hated it. I hated selling marijuana. And some people love it. I hated it because the prohibition made it so expensive, and people would scrape up their money to get pot, and I would feel bad about it. I still do.
Well, you gave out a lot of pot.
Yeah, but I didn't care about the money, and I gave away all my whole fortune, my whole life. You know, I never cared for wealth and power. I live with a group of people, we just try to make a better world. And sometimes you have to make a little money to do that, but you never have to gouge your friends. And a lot of people are forgetting that now. There's dispensaries everywhere. It was the only show in town. But of course, when I did it, it was all totally illegal, and I could have gone to prison for the rest of my life. the stars looked upon me pleasingly and spared me really any real prison time. Even though they tried at the end, tried to bust me in, they tried to throw me in prison, but I was righteous in my movements. I was righteous in what it was all about. Medical marijuana was about compassion, and they don't have any. I know that, but I have enough for them. The bar's on mine. So they tried. They failed.
And you won, Dennis. Well done.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I thank thank God for making marijuana legal, so I could meet these people and have this journey with people. That for righteous cause, it's like being in the civil rights battle of the '60s, being old enough to realize what's happening and how we're going to change the world. And we change the world, it'll never be the same again.
That's right. Hey, thanks so
Thank
much.
you for being part of it. Thank
Thanks.
you, Steve, and all your work, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, it'll be up on Pot TV real soon.
Oh, great. Now you know the cup, the Emerald Triangle Cup in Sonoma County. It's supposed to be very big. I'm getting an award there, and I'm going to be a judge.
You know, I've heard that Big Brother's going to be there and some other 60s groups. It should be pretty epic.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, good. Big Brother, oh no, the government's, they're the Big Brother. Yeah, they're good. Great.
All right. Take care, Dennis. Be well.
Thank you, Steve.
Bye-bye.
The weight so heavy where I stand.